The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of ESPN Tucson 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, or the Arizona Lotus Corporation.
Welcome to Spears and Ali on ESPN Tucson.
Justin Spears, I like that.
With Justin Spears and Ali Farhang on 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, ESPN Tucson. Brought to you by Tucson Federal Credit Union, the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, and Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
I want to be entertaining, but I'm not stupid enough to compare myself to Ali.
Corey is in the house. We've got Corey Williams, Arizona basketball legend, joining us here, and also co-host of the Mikhail Madness podcast. What's up, Dub?
Not much, man. Not so much on the legend. Arizona Wildcat. I don't know about legend. We got a lot of legends. I'm not one of those guys.
It's all perspective, brother. I mean, compared to Justin's athletic prowess.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, for him, I would be legendary for sure.
Right. He's still trying to touch the net and using a trampoline. I mean, you could actually dunk.
Yeah. So am I now. You know, I'm almost 38. I'm trying to see if I can still touch the rim.
Well, Corey, thank you for being a part of our show today. And, Arizona, they're rolling right now. Number one ranked team in college basketball unanimously for the first time ever. They got somewhat of a scare against UCF, but then they were able to pull away. Overall thoughts just on this Arizona team. What are the biggest strengths in your opinion? And is there maybe one or two things that are a little concerning for you at this point?
I think their strength is obviously their depth, and a lot of coaches use the word depth, and they just, we play a lot of people. No, that's not real depth. Depth is when players 6, 7, and 8 can all get 20 points, and that's the scary thing about Arizona. Del Orso can get you 20. Tobey can get you 20. Aristode can definitely get you 10, 12, maybe even 15 if he gets hot from 3. So they're coming off the bench with guys that are just as good as starters, and these guys are playing the same amount of minutes as the starters. So that makes Arizona much different than most teams in college basketball. What's also good about them is because they've got an 8-man rotation and everybody knows their job, they have an identity. And I tell a lot of coaches, and I talk to a lot of coaches, if you don't know who you are by December, when you get into league play, it's going to be a mess. If you don't have your rotations, your lockdown guys, your guys that know their responsibilities, Arizona's established all that. And the last thing is Arizona has been in every situation, early foul trouble, guys not having great shooting nights. They've been without each guy for multiple stretches of games, and they've still managed to get wins. When you get wins in adverse conditions, it strengthens your resolve. It brings the team together. It does wonders for your confidence. I don't believe they'll go undefeated. I couldn't tell you when they'll get popped, but I will tell you that this team, a lot of things have to go wrong for somebody to walk off with a win against this Arizona. And it would just have to be a crazy night. Not for somebody like a Houston or maybe even somebody like a BYU at home, but for the rest of the Big 12, you really got to catch Arizona on an off night to have a chance to be better than them for 40 minutes.
Corey, you've played on a lot of great teams, and the state of mind of, when Arizona came into the season, everybody's like, well, yeah, they're good, but Michigan, but Duke, but Iowa State. And now Arizona through 18 games has proven, like you said, it's going to take a real off night. It's going to take a real good night by the opponent to get this team, to fall for its first loss. What's the perspective of a team where you kind of feel like you have a chip on your shoulder, you're disrespected, to now you're a 5-star matchup every time you go into an arena with another team, and you're the hunted instead of being the hunter?
Well, it's kind of like that ugly chick that likes you once you get drafted to the league. It's the pretty girl you liked in high school, and now you get drafted. Now she trying to call you. It's like, nah, you wasn't feeling me back then, so I'm not paying any attention to you right now. That's the mindset on the Arizona team. You guys didn't give Jaden Bradley any preseason accolades at the point guard position. You guys had us 14th, 15th in the country, which is fine. We'll take that. But you guys never saw us coming. You never wanted to see us. And now that you have to talk about us, we're sitting on the throne as the number one team in the country. Now you have to give us analysis. Now you have to stay up late and watch us. You got people praising Arizona that never were talking about Arizona 3 months ago. You don't pay any attention to that either. So, yeah, it's nice. And I say this all the time. The number one ranking is for us. It's for the fans, for us to enjoy. We've had it for multiple weeks. We can wear our gear in the airports and we can talk trash to people because we're number one. The players, they don't care when the opinion is negative or positive. They're on a mission for each other and to get wins. Now, the number one ranking is a byproduct of that, but I don't think this team plays any harder because they're ranked number one. And I don't think that they're worried about defending this opinion that's just out there in the media, because that's all the number one ranking is. It's an opinion and it changes based on scores every week. So Tommy does a great job of reminding the kids, hey, we're not running an election here. We don't care about votes. We're trying to win the Big 12, win the Big 12 tournament, and win a national championship. And even if Arizona were to lose a game, all three of those things are still out there for Arizona to do.
Corey just gave us some Mike Jones. Back then.
Who?
Back then, you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. You all on me.
No.
Exactly.
That's right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Corey, I want to talk about Jaden Bradley. So this team, the shot making at the rim is at a level that I don't recall in a while. And I always feel like they're going to find a way, no matter what the circumstances present themselves. The only time I felt a little nervous is if Jaden Bradley gets in foul trouble. Do you think Tommy may play a little bit more as the season progresses with somebody else, Braden Burries, maybe running the point, so that if that situation arises in a tournament situation, that the team is prepared to handle that?
It has happened. I think the last game he had some fouls. And you're talking about a 6 or 7 or 8 minute stretch. The real issue when you keep your eye on Jaden Bradley is, does he get that second foul in the first half? If Jaden Bradley doesn't get the second foul in the first half, or if he has 2 at halftime, he's experienced enough to play the final 20 minutes with 3 fouls. He knows what fouls look like and how they happen, and he can avoid those situations and still be a factor. But you're right. Getting Braden some run at the point when we have a lead and seeing if we can maintain that lead. How much can we rest Bradley and not see a dip in the offense? That's the question that Tommy has to answer. And unfortunately, with most college teams, practice isn't that competitive. So you can't simulate running our offense with, other players, because practice isn't that competitive. You can only really simulate it in live games. So I think you hit on a great point. Where can we sample and tweak and play with, Burries at the point and see what it looks like? Because you're right. In a tournament where it's do or die, win or go home, you may have to play an 8 or 9 minute stretch with no Jaden Bradley. But this team is shown that they've been skilled enough to do that.
Yeah.
So, Corey, if I gave you a nickel and said, all right, you can bet this nickel on any team that you think could beat Arizona in the regular season, who do you think is that team?
There's honestly, man, I'm just gonna be. There's a lot. There's several teams that could get Arizona in the Big 12. I think at BYU is tough. Houston is tough. Texas Tech is tough. I think you saw UCF had a pretty decent, approach to the game. Hell, ASU, that game was never, ever out of reach for ASU in McHale Center. I think Arizona fans have to open their brain to the concept of every game is going to be a dogfight. I'm not going to say every game's 50-50, but what I'm saying is I don't think Arizona will blow out anyone in the first half of a Big 12 game. I just don't see us going into the tunnel up 15 or 20 in Big 12 play, especially when you're the number one team. Because I've said before on our pod, adrenaline can get you through the first 20 minutes. I don't care who you are. Those kids are going to play their best basketball in the opening 20 minutes. So Arizona fans have to understand the halftime score is not going to be something you're going to be all excited about. You're going to be like, oh my God, what the heck is happening? But minutes 20 through 30 and the closing 5 minutes, that's where you're going to see the strength of Arizona down the stretch. Who could beat Arizona? Man, I'd say there's 3 or 4 teams that if they were to end up with more points at the end of 40 minutes, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they are good teams. Everybody has this laser focus on Arizona because they're the number one team. But when you really watch these games, and gosh, we're going to see in February because they play everybody in February. Yep. It's going to be crazy. If Arizona comes out of February with 1 or 2 losses, it's not the end of the world. I think I'm focused on Lenardi's weekly projections. Is Arizona still a 1 seed? Are they a 2 seed? If they're a 1 or 2 seed, I'm not really concerned about wins and losses. I'm concerned about that good path to the Final Four. That's what I want to see Arizona position itself for. But to answer your question, there's 3 or 4 teams that could get Arizona, and that's just keeping it real.
Yeah, we're on the road to Ferris State in the first round. That's the objective.
Exactly.
Corey, real quick, man, when you played on these teams, when you have a target on your back, you are the number one team, and you play in such a rugged conference like the Big 12, the best basketball conference in the nation, where they're bringing it every single game. It's got to get mentally and somewhat physically fatiguing. What does Tommy Lloyd got to do to keep this team fresh and not get into a lull where it's just like you're just in these dogfights over and over again, and it's just so draining on you?
The only thing Tommy has to do is keep reminding his guys. Every basketball player, from the moment you get out of bed and put your feet on the floor and start your day, you're after something. You're after wins, you're after recognition, you're after success, you're after victories, you're after dominance. And when you accumulate that, when you are the number one team in the country and every sprint that you run, every weight that you lift is paying off, and you step out on the court against someone who wants to take that from you, you have to remind your guys, they're trying to take what you have earned. And if that doesn't get you up for a game, I don't care if they're jacked up and the students are sleeping outside and it's a packed, I don't care about any of that. How dare you come for what I have? I have an undefeated record. I am playing with my teammates, my friends. We are better than you, and you are trying to take my shine. You're trying to embarrass me in front of my friends, families, and loved ones. It's not going to happen, bro. I know y'all want this win. I know you circled it on your calendar. We just got off the plane. We're here now, and we're going to kick your ass and show you why we're number one. This is not about you. It's about us. You only win if we don't play to our level. So Tommy just has to remind these guys, yo, if it's not personal for you, you need to make it personal within the next few hours, because these kids are taking it personal. They're looking to make their season and storm the court off of you guys, and you can't let people take things from you. You guys have earned this respect, you've earned this success, and you have to defend it. And you're right. If you're not in the right mental space, it can be exhausting. But if you approach it as, I'm never the hunted, I am the hunter, and what I want is still out there. National championship is still out there. So you just got to, Ali, take their phones from them. I don't know. Keep them off the internet. I don't know what you're going to do, but you got to keep them sharp, because that's the way we always looked at it. We knew these kids. We were recruited against these guys in high school. So when we took the floor against them in the Pac-10 and we took the floor against them in the tournament, we were like, yeah, I know you. You think you're better than me. You thought Arizona should have recruited you, and they recruited me. So now we're going to settle this. I'm at Arizona, you're at Washington. I'm at Arizona, you're at Stanford. I'm at Arizona, you're at UCLA. I'm going to show you why I'm a Wildcat and why you didn't get an offer to come here. We was an arrogance. It was an absolute arrogance that our guys had, and we took everything personal. So hopefully Arizona can keep an edge and keep a chip on their shoulder.
I hope you give that speech to them, because I'm fired up. And I kind of boil it down to the Justin Spears mentality when you ask him for one of his French fries. Make it personal. How dare you try to take what I have?
Take my stuff.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is mine.
Yeah, can I just one fry? How dare you, sir?
It's
How dare you ask me for one of my French fries? I earned this.
It's personal.
Exactly.
This is personal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is Corey Williams, co-host of the McHale Madness podcast. Thursday at 7 o'clock. Is that right, Corey?
Yep. We'll be on Thursday, and hopefully Cats will have another win in their back pocket against Cincinnati, and we can keep this show on the road, man. I'm loving it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome, man.
Corey, thank you for your time. Always appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.